जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवर धारी जय गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवर धारी जय गिरिवर धारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा बनचारी यमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Nittai. Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Nittai Gaur. Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari Jaya, Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari Jaya, Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari Jaya, Gaura Hari. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jai O Vishnupad Paramahansa's Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Ho Vishnupad Paramahansa's Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamna Mai Ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Goloka Nanda Ki Jai. Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutri Shri Gopal Krishna Sute Namne Prabhu Buddha Sasayati Prakasya Tasavacharam Kutsal Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutri Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Te Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Bachani Nirvishesha Sunyati Paschatya Desatane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we are continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 69, and today we are going to read verse 41. Shri Sukha Vacha Iti Acharantam Saddharman Iti Acharan Acharatam Saddharman Pavanam Grahamedinam Tammeva Sarvageheshu Shantam Ekam Dadarshaha. Shri Sukha Vacha Iti Acharantam Saddharman Pavanam Grehamedina Tammeva Sarvam Geheshu Shantam Ekam Dadarshaha. Shri Sukha Vacha Iti Acharantam Saddharman Pavanam Grehamedinam Tammeva Sarvageheshu Shantam Ekam Dadarshaha. Devotees. Sukha Vacha Iti Acharantam Saddharman Pavanam Grehamedinam Shri Sukha Vacha word for word meaning. Shri Sukha Vacha, Sukdev Goswami said, Iti, thus, Acharantam, performing, Sat, spiritual, Dharman, the principles of religion, Pavanan, purifying, Griha Medinam, for householders, Tam, him, Eva, indeed, Sarva, in all, Geheshu, the palaces, Santam, present, Ekam, in one form, the Dashaha, he saw. Translation and purport by disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sukdev Goswami said, thus in every palace Narada saw the Lord in his same personal form, executing the transcendental principles of religion that purified those engaged in household affairs. Please repeat. Sukdev Goswami said, thus in every palace Narada saw the Lord in his same personal form, executing the transcendental principles of religion that purify those engaged in household affairs. Purport. In this verse, Sukdev Goswami repeats what the Lord has himself explained. As Srila Prabhupada writes in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was engaged in his so-called household affairs in order to teach people how one can sanctify one's household life, although he may be attached to the imprisonment of material existence. Actually, one is obliged to continue the term of material existence because of household life. But the Lord, being very kind upon householders, demonstrated the path of sanctifying ordinary household life. Because Krishna is the center of all activity, a Krishna-conscious householder's life is transcendental to Vedic injunctions and is automatically sanctified. As stated in text 2 of this chapter, all the Lord's activities in the many palaces were performed by the Lord's single spiritual form, Ekena Vapusa, which manifested in many places at once. This vision was revealed to Narada because of his desire to see it and the Lord's desire to show it to him. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that the other residents of Dwarka could see Krishna only in the particular part of the city they themselves occupied, and not anywhere else, even if they would sometimes go to another precinct on some business. Thus the Lord gave a special view of his pastimes to his beloved devotee Narad Muni. So we'll start first with the Tikas of the Goswamis. We'll first chant the prayers. Om Jnanati Mandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshuranmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Sadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Yati Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharni Nirvishesha Sunyadi Paschati Tistai Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vayevicha Patitanam Pamni Bhayo Vaishnavi Bhayo Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this verse summarizes the meaning of what was stated. With one body, Krishna, Tam Ekam, was present in each of the 16,000 palaces, as was previously stated. Because Narad had a desire to see this and Krishna had a desire to show this, Narada was able to see. The residents of Dwarka, however, saw Krishna only in the palaces where they were residing, even if they sometimes went to other houses, interrupting their routine. We see this in Bhagavad Gita as well, where Krishna had the desire to show what was happening in the battlefield of Kurukshetra to Dhritarashtra and to Sanjay. Sanjay was Krishna's devotee. And so he provided him with these spiritual eyes, so that sitting in Dhritarashtra's palace, Sanjay could see the whole battle of Kurukshetra and could narrate to Dhritarashtra the pastime of, or actually the recitation of the Bhagavad Gita and the whole war. So Krishna, when he wants to do something, he makes it happen. And especially if it is a desire of his devotee, which is who Narada is. And Jiva Goswami says, he saw the Lord performing actions of proper conduct, sadharman, which purify householders. This is praise for householder dharma. Or he saw the Lord performing the highest dharmas, such as serving the devotees, which purify all people in general by his performing them. He saw one Lord, though the Lord was in many forms in all the houses, but he saw that one Lord. This one form was the Lord's supreme form, since it was forbidden to see different forms in the Lord. Otherwise, Narad would not have had a doubt. He would not be astonished if they had been like Sobhari expanding yogic form. This is Rishi Sobhari was an elevated yogi, and by his yogic powers, he was able to multiply in, I think, 7 or 8 forms. But the difference between Sobhari's forms and Narada's form, Lord Krishna's form here, 16,000, was Sobhari could only duplicate himself in those forms, and he could only be doing one activity. The same activity would be in all his 8 forms. So even though he had all these wives, he married these wives, he could be with those wives, but he could only do one same activity. So if he was performing a yagna here, he would be performing the yagna in all of his things. Or if he was playing with his children, he would be doing the same in all of that form. But Krishna, on the other hand, could do this in 16,000 identical forms, performing varied pastimes. He could be doing anything. And in fact, I was reading something from Sachur Maharaj, and he was saying, why should we be surprised that Krishna could only do 16,000 forms or 16,000 palaces? He could do 16 million, and we should not be surprised. Because Krishna is totally unlimited, infinite, and is able to do anything he wants. So there should be no surprise at his pastimes. So Jiva Goswami continues, Bhishma expressed this idea previously in Amilita Driga Vyadharayata. He fixed his wide open eyes upon the Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.30. And he said, Drishe Koera Eso Eviram Atma. The Lord had become visible to my eyes. That Bhishma ji talking. And he says, freed of that illusion of difference in the Lord's various forms, I have attained the Lord who is one, though appearing to be many like the sun seen by many people, who is the charioteer, but who is also in my heart, the unborn, and is situated in the hearts of all the Jivas, who create their own bodies. That's 1942. Just as the sun distributes light from the far away, the Lord by his Achintya Shakti appears in various places. The special nature of the example is that one form appears in many places. And Sanatana Goswami says, he saw the Lord performing actions of proper conduct, sadharma, which purify householders. This is praise for householder dharma. Or he saw the Lord performing the highest dharmas, such as hearing, which purifies all people in general by his performing them. He saw one Lord, though the Lord was in many forms in all the houses. The one form was situated in many houses, not by expanding into many forms, but by his special Shakti, internal potency, since the one form was continuously present in time and space. The truth is understood only by the best devotees to the degree of their ability. The truth is understood only by the best devotees to the degrees of their abilities. This is explained in Bhagavatamrita. This agrees with the statement at the beginning of the chapter, Ekena Vapuso, in one body. We think we know what Shuka Goswami is talking about here. Okay, thank you. So, we think we know what Sukdev Goswami is asking. But the reality is that each of us, according to our experience, according to our realization, or our study of Prabhupada's books, understand this statement differently. That is the reason, really, for reading Prabhupada's books, listening to his classes, understanding his writings. Because with each reading, our perception, our understanding of Krishna and his pastimes change, expand, become clearer. When we first think about the whole concept of Krishna marrying 16,108 queens, that seems impossible. So, in an article in Newsweek in 1974, one of the very renowned Newsweek journalist wrote about, in the religion section, he wrote that he had met a wizened Haridwar scholar. Haridwar is a holy place in North India on the banks of Ganges. And in there are lots of sadhus in quotation marks, yogis, magicians, could be anything, who could perform all kinds of feats. They could stand on one leg forever, or who could just meditate forever. And depending on what they're doing, their realizations could be totally different. Somebody could be, Prabhupada said, a stock could be standing on one leg. That doesn't make them self-realized. But this Newsweek article said that His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada had, by adroit juggling of the Vedic text, sold his celibate followers on an erroneous belief in Krishna, a popular rural god with 16,000 wives. So, in the Back to Godhead article, it was written that this was not the first time that Newsweek had published criticism of the Krishna consciousness movement. And they had various quotations like this. And they saw Krishna, according to some of these sadhus that they met in Rishikesh, and based on that, they came to their different conclusion that Krishna is just a rural god, rural from Vrindavan, and the 16,000 wives was impossible to have, so it was obviously a mythology. And similar belief is there in popular India, even now. It's either that this is all mythology, or it is that Krishna was just a playboy and he had no morals, especially in Vrindavan when he was with the gopis. They didn't necessarily challenge. The 16,000 wives was legitimate, but it was not possible according to the perceptions. So it had to be mythology. So Satguru Maharaj, in his rebuttal, in his article in the BTG, said the basic defect in the Newsweek's reporting on the Krishna conscious movement is that it rests upon the authoritative statements of uncertified and indeed bogus authorities. Newsweek reporter Tony Clifton, journeying up the Ganges to solicit the supposedly expert spiritual opinions of the sadhus, holy men of Rishikesh, the dwelling of the hermits. There he found hundreds of holy men who do nothing more than subdue their bodies almost to the point of death. Some starve themselves, others stand like storks on one leg for months at end. Truly, Tony Clifton was impressed. I saw one sadhu, he reported, who has held his right arm outstretched for so long that it has atrophied. Another lies on a bed of nails and never speaks. Here, he concluded, was precisely the kind of discipline that has kept Hinduism alive for 3,500 years. So, then Maharaj continues later, he says, if one wants to understand Krishna, or Hinduism, so-called Hinduism, one must understand him from genuine authorities, not from fakirs in the streets of Hardwar. The statement that Krishna is a rural god with 16,000 wives is a blunder that shows that its speaker does not even know the basic biography of Krishna. When Krishna appeared on earth 5,000 years ago, he lived in the rural village of Vrindavan. But in his life, as a cowherd boy, he never took even one wife. He married only after he left Vrindavan and became an opulent king in the city of Dwarka. Putting aside the opinions of the sadhus of Rishikesh and Hadwar, we can find the authentic description of Krishna's Leela, Krishna's life and identity in India's ancient Vedic scriptures, especially in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the 5,000-year-old natural commentary on the famed Vedanta Sutra, which gives classical definitions of the absolute truth in terse Sanskrit codes. Since Vedanta Sutra is extremely complex and difficult to follow, its author, the sage Vyasadeva, composed Srimad Bhagavatam to describe the absolute truth more clearly. Both Vedanta Sutra and Srimad Bhagavatam begin with the phrase Janmadi Asya Yatha, which refers to the source from which everything emanates. Vedanta, however, describes this source abstractly, whereas Srimad Bhagavatam explicitly reveals this source to be Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, here, in these verses, up to the last couple of verses, and here, Sukdev Goswami is describing Krishna as the perfect householder. And Krishna is revealing the whole secret of what a householder should be, what a perfect householder should be. And the secret behind why Krishna is revealing this to Narad Muni is because, for one thing, Narad Muni is his devotee. Narad Muni had this real desire to see Krishna. What to speak of this journalist that we're talking about, Tony Clifton? Even Narad Muni, with all his knowledge, was a little confused about the idea of Krishna marrying 16,108 wives in 16,108 palaces. So he wanted to see what that looks like. I mean, he's traveling everywhere. He's a sannyasi. He really has no business with household life. But he wants to see 16,000 wives. Like Maharaj said, why should we be surprised at 16,000? We shouldn't even be surprised at 16 million. But even Narad Muni is surprised at that. Historically, in India, there's been a belief that spiritual life is really for old people or renunciates, and when they get older, they renunciate, they go to the jungle and meditate, like the Pandavas did. But and with that, there is a belief that the householder life is really to enjoy material life, sense gratification, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's all. But Krishna is teaching us that it is not just that. He's teaching us that as a young man, Krishna is showing the householder life to be perfection in Krishna consciousness. It is a system, it's a dharma by which we can actually purify our existence while living at home. By serving their lordships, by serving Krishna, by serving Krishna's devotees. Here you are, the two of you venturing into a householder life with your wedding next week and starting a household life. And you're young. In India, in the so-called Hindus, this would be your license for self-gratification, to increase your material life, to grow your material wealth, to enjoy material comforts. While Prabhupada's process is to have all your material comforts dovetailed in the service of Krishna and his devotees. And to purify our existence as householders so that Krishna is in the center of our life. Everything revolves around Krishna. Our chanting, of course, is attentive glorification of Krishna's name. Our service is according to what pleases Krishna. We only serve Krishna in the way Krishna wants to be served, not in the way that pleases us. We don't cook for Krishna the way we would want for our tongue. We cook the bhoga in a sattvic manner, which is what Krishna, in mode of goodness, that Krishna advocates for. We dress Krishna and Radharani the way they want to be dressed. We don't load them at night with heavy jewelry that we would never put on ourselves. It's very uncomfortable. And they don't want that. We don't dress Krishna. As Prabhupada said, or somebody said, I don't know if Prabhupada said that, but somebody said, we don't decorate Krishna and Radharani like Christmas trees. You don't just stick everything on them. We do that all tastefully in mode of goodness, not in the mode of passion. And by doing that, we perfect our household life. And that's what Sukdev Goswami is showing Narad Muni. And in turn, it's not for Narad Muni's benefit, it really is for our benefit. The whole chapter is. So, with that, our time's up and we'll close. And Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Goloka Nanda ki jai, Giriraj Govardhan ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you. Sorry, there never is time for much comments. Thank you.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalaya Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakale Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Vivan Vikayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham
Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nivasesha Sanyavadi Paschachade Satarine Jai Prabhupada Shasanyavadi Jai Prabhupada Disatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadev Gaura Bhaktarinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda, Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda, Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda, Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda, Jaya Gaura Bhaktarinda, Gaura Bhaktarinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Nitya Haribo, 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 Nitya Haribo, 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 Nitya Haribo, 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 Nitya Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Radhe. Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Bhagavacharya Satarya Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki. ISKCON founder Srila Prabhupada Ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath. Shamakun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki. Vrindavan Ki. Mayapur Ki. Nagri Ki. Jagannath Puri Ki. Jamuna Ki. Namkamai Ki. Tulsi Devi Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Shishi Radha Golokananda Ki. Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the Assembly. All glories to the assembly. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Goloka.
Amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari najanam nasundarim kavitam jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware babatad bhakti rahoita ki twai ainanda tanuja kinkaram patita mam vishame bhavam budao Kripaya tavapada pankaja stitaduli sadrisham vichintaya nayanam galada shrudaraya vajanam gadgara rutaya gira pulakaya nichitam vapukada tavanama grihanai bhavishyati yugaitam namishena chakshusha pravishaitam Shunyaitam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena me Ashlishyava paravatam pinastumam Adarshanam marmahatam karotuva Yatatava vivitat lampato Much prananattastu saevana para Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan which cleanses the heart of all